everyone. We just wanted to say that we miss you guys. We love you guys. We're really looking forward to being able to meet together at
Hey everyone! Miss seeing you guys! Can't wait to see you soon! Bye!
We do miss you, and we do hope to see you soon. Today we are actually going to be talking about, I want to share a story from high school, but before we do, I want to share why I'm telling you the story. When I was in my women's Bible study on Mondays, we were actually talking about how the disciples really just kind of deserted Jesus whenever he was being crucified. They were scared for their lives and they ran. And after he rose from the dead, their lives were changed. They were no longer scared. They were bold in their faith. They were sharing the gospel, and a lot of them actually ended up dying for their faith. They were changed because of the risen Christ. They had seen God at work. And one of the questions we looked at is, I wonder what stories those people would have told years and years down the road, the ways that they had seen God at work. The other question is, how have we seen God at work in our own lives? And it made me start thinking about some of the different ways, and I don't know that I've shared some of those ways that I've seen God at work, so I want to do a series on how have we seen God at work. And so today we are actually going to be looking at a story that I was at the Wilmington Mission Conference, and I was in high school, and one of my counselors, she grew up in the church, but she really was having some doubts about whether God even existed. And so we were staying at Westminster in the dorms, and in her dorm room, she just prayed. She said, God, I just pray if you're real that you will just show that to me. And she opened up her Bible, and on Westminster campus there, opened up her Bible, and in it, this is what she read. This is from John chapter 20, verses 24 to 31. Now Thomas, also known as Didymus, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, we have seen the Lord. But he said to them, unless I see the nail marks in his hands and put my finger where the nails were and put my hand into his side, I will not believe it. A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, peace be with you. Then he said to Thomas, put your finger here, see my hands, reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe. Thomas said to him, my Lord and my God. Jesus told him, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. Jesus performed many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not recorded in this book. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. Let me read that one more time, that last verse. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. My counselor was just in awe. She said she was freaking out. She was looking around the dorm room like, oh my goodness, like, are there angels in here? Like, what is going on? She knew that God spoke to her at this very moment, and she knew that he was real. Maybe you're having some doubts and wondering if God is even real. I really just encourage you to get into Scripture, read the Bible. A good place to start would be at the beginning of John, and just pray that God would show himself to you. I pray that you may know that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name.